ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सदात्मध्याननिरतं विषयेभ्यः पराङ्मुखं नौमि शास्त्रेषु निष्णातं चन्द्रशेखरभारतीम् ॐ The eighth verse, Ato Vimuktei Pragateta Vidvan Sanyasta Bahyartha Sukhasprihas San Santam Mahantam Samupetya Deshikam Tenopadishtartha Samahitatma. This was the eighth verse of the Vivekachudamani that we were seeing in the last session. And in that, we had looked at the Vyakhya. We had started the Vyakhya by Jagadguru Srimad Chandrashekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal. And on page 6 of that Vyakhya, we had covered the first few lines. We had looked at why Acharya had used the word sun in the compound Sanyasta Bahyartha Sukhasprihas San. So the 10th line in the Vyakhya on page 6, Avivekinah Vishayalampatasya Astitpamapi Durlabhamiti Suchayati San iti. So Acharya had said, and we had looked at this in the last class, that the one who denies the existence of Brahman is as good as non-existent himself, because in denying Brahman, he is denying his own self. This was based on the Taittiriya Upanishad Vakya, Asanneva Sabhavati Asad Brahmeti Vedachet. Here Acharya is saying the one who is devoid of discrimination, the Aviveki who doesn't distinguish between what is the self and what is the non-self, who is essentially taking the ephemeral body and the mind to be the self, which themselves are mithya. The body and the mind, the world itself is mithya. By taking the self to be that mithya object because of an erroneous cognition, essentially that person cannot even be referred to as existing, because he has an adhyasika tadatmyam. He has an identity with an ultimately mithya object, and therefore he himself is mithya, because he has not distinguished himself, he has not separated himself from those mithya objects. Acharyavan Purusho Veda Acharyadhaiva Vidya Vidita Sadhishtam Prapate iti Shrutehe Atindriyasya Atmaikyasya Gurum Vina Adhigantum Ashakyatvat Purvoktaritya Mahapurusha Samshrayah Kartavyah Ityaha Santam Ityadina. Here Acharya is saying that the Chandogya Shruti says Acharyavan Purusho Veda. Only the person who has approached an Acharya, who has learned the Atmaikya Vidya, the identity of the self with Brahman, through the Guru, only such a person will have the liberating knowledge of moksha. Similarly, in the fourth adhyaya of the Chandogya Upanishad, there is a mantra, Acharya Dhyaiva Vidya Vidita Sadhishtam Prapate. That is, any learning will be fruitful only if it is learned from an Acharya. Only if somebody who has himself understood what he is teaching, only if such a person teaches, will any Vidya have practical value, utility, and something which is taught by someone who himself has not had the knowledge, or if it is taught by, if it is self-learned, such a Vidya will not be fruitful, because it will always be accompanied by doubts. Whether what has one has known is sufficient or not, one will always have a doubt. Whereas when one learns from a guru who himself is an accomplished master, who himself is a Brahma Jnani, the Vidya learned from him comes along with it the conviction of its practical value, because the student sees how that Vidya has made his guru a Jivan Mukta. He sees firsthand the practical effect of that Vidya in his guru's person. And therefore, when such a person teaches a student, it carries along with it the conviction of experience. And therefore, Acharya is quoting here these two mantras from the Upanishad to emphasize how the Atindriya Jnana, the knowledge of the identity of the self as Brahman, is not something which can be known through perception or inference. It is beyond the range of all sensory perception. It's beyond the range of senses. The only pramana for that is the Veda, and that Veda Jnana through a Guru. That is the only pramana for knowing this Atmaikya Vidya. And therefore, to indicate that it must be learned from a Guru, Acharya Shankara Bhagavad uses the word Santam in this 8th sloka. And this was referred to in the previous shloka also. Mahapurusha Samshrayah Durlabham Trayamevaitat Daivanugraha Hetukam Manushyatvam Mumukshutvam Mahapurusha Samshrayah. This seeking refuge in a Mahapurusha, a Vidwan, must be performed, because without that Mahapurusha's refuge, Brahmatmaikya Vidya, the knowledge of the identity of Brahman with the self, will not be had. And that is indicated with the word Santam. So, why is the word Santam important? Acharya will explain that himself. Asti san tam ityarthaha asti brahmeti chedveda santamenam tato viduhu sadeva saumya idamagra asit yo vai bhuma tadamritam atonyadartam satyam jnanam anantam brahma nasato vidyate bhavah nabhavo vidyate satah उभयोरपि दृष्टान्तोस्त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः इत्यादि श्रुतिस्मृतिभ्यः कालत्रय अबाध्यत्वरूप अस्तित्वस्य ब्रह्मण्येव सत्त्वात्. Here Acharya is etymologically deriving the meaning of the word santam in the phrase santam mahantam samupayitya deshikam that occurs in the 8th verse. And here he is saying asti san tam ityarthaha. He or that which exists is referred to as sun. And this is a reference to the Taittiriya Upanishad mantra. Again, we had seen the previous one, Asannevasa Bhavati, Asad Brahmeti Vedachet. And here the opposite is said. On the other hand, he who knows Brahman, Asti Brahmeti Ched Veda, Santamenam Tato Viduhu. He is known as a Santa. As Shankaracharya says in his Taittiriya Upanishad Bhashya, Santam Vidyamanam Brahmaswarupena Paramartha Sadatma Apannam Enam Evam Vidam Viduhu Brahma Vidaha. That is, the one who knows Brahman as existence, he himself is existing as that Brahman himself, Brahmaswarupena Vidyamanam. And he attains, and here this is a figurative attainment because his nature was ever as the Paramartha Sad Vastu, the ultimate real object Brahma. And therefore, the knower of Brahma becomes Brahman itself. And here the word becoming is used in a figurative sense. The knower of Brahman figuratively becomes. The ignorance that was preventing him from being Brahman goes away, and therefore he attains or becomes, as it were, Brahman. Even when ignorant, he was Brahman. After knowledge, also he was Brahman. Ignorance hides his true nature from himself, and knowledge removes that covering or that veil and reveals his true nature to be Brahman, not after knowledge. He always was, is, and will be Brahman. So Jagadguru Chandrashekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal quotes this mantra from the Taittiriya Upanishad, Asti Brahmeti Ched Veda Santamenam Tato Viduhu. The one who acknowledges the existence of Brahman, the one who realizes that Brahman, he himself is called existence. He is called Sun. And that was from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Next, he takes the 6th chapter of the Chandogya Upanishad, the mantra from there, Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asit. Existence alone, dear one, Somya, was present in the beginning. So this chapter is called the Sadvidya because of it starting with this. The Upakrama of that chapter starts with Sadeva Somya Idamagra Asit. And the nature of Brahman as existence was referred to here. And Acharya is invoking that mantra in the explanation of the word Santam here. And then from the seventh chapter of the same Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, he quotes the Bhuma Vidya, wherein Sanat Kumara teaches Narada, Yovai Bhuma Tadamritam Ato Anyadartam. That is, what that Bhuma here, Bhuma of the Bhuma Vidya chapter is the same as the Sat, as the Sadvidya chapter. And the word Bhuma means vast or big. Here, big, because it is unqualified, means infinite. That infinite thing is what is known as Bhuma. And what is that infinite thing? Our Brahman only. So, that Bhuma Vidya, which Sanat Kumara taught Narada in the Chandogya Upanishad, Acharya Jagadguru Srimad Chandrashekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal is quoting that. He's saying, and here Sanat Kumara is telling Narada, Yovai Bhuma Tadamritam. That which is infinite, that alone is immortal. Atonyadartham. That which is not, ata anyat, which is not infinite, is ephemeral, is mortal. And then from the Taittiriya Brahmanandavalli, he quotes the famous definition. The Swarupa Lakshana of Brahman as Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahman is existence, consciousness, infinite. And then he quotes the Gita text, Nasato vidyate bhavaha, nabhavo vidyate sataha. That which is existent cannot go out of existence, and that which is non existent cannot come into existence. Therefore, the wise man must know that the real is always real and the unreal is always unreal. And that has to be seen clearly by the Tattvadarshis. Those who have realized the truth have done so on the basis of being able to distinguish the real from the unreal, and to know that that which is real means that which exists in all periods of time. And this is what Acharya is concluding. Essentially, if you look at the progression of the quotes, the first quote is saying that the knower of Brahman is called Santam. And he is called Santam because that Brahman is what is known as Sat. Sadeva Soumya Idamagra Asit. And what is the nature of Sat? It is Amritam. It is that which does not ever go out of existence. And the nature of that Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. That Bhuma of the Bhuma Vidya is the Anantam of the Taittiriya Upanishad. The Sat of the Sadvidya is the Satyam of Taittiriya Upanishad. And the Gita concludes this by saying that which is non existent can never come into existence, and that which is existent can never go out of existence. And therefore, the fact that the one existing thing can never be negated or sublated in any period of time. And only Brahman can be referred to as that. The knower of Brahman is Brahman himself, and therefore he himself is referred to as Sun or Santam. This is what he concludes by saying, Kalatraya abadhyatva rupa astitvasya brahmani eva sattvat. Now Acharya had said the knower of Brahman is Brahman, so that is being established by showing the Shruti Pramana for that. Because whatever statements we make, we have to back that with some Pramana. And therefore, any assertion that we make has to be on the basis of a commonly accepted set of means of knowledge. And that Pramana is Shruti Pramana here, and that is being provided by Acharya in the next sentence. Deshikasya tathatvam brahmavid brahmaiva bhavati iti shrutya tadabhinnatvat. That the Acharya or the knower of Brahman is verily Brahman himself can be discerned from Shruti statements like the knower of Brahman is Brahman himself. Now the Mundaka Upanishad says Brahma Veda Brahmaiva Bhavati. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman. Here we have to be very careful about statements like Bhavati, Apnoti, etc. Verbs like that, we have to be very careful. In the Veda, when we are referring to moksha, it is not the attainment of Brahman at a particular point in time. Rather, it is simply the revelation the act of revealing our true nature to ourselves. The Shruti is simply showing a mirror to us and showing us who we really are. And therefore, it is not converting us from one state to another state. It's not the attainment of a new state. Before this, we were jivas. After this, we have become asamsari Brahman. No, we were always Brahman. Even during the time of ignorance, we are Brahman. Even now, we are Brahman. We simply don't know that. And therefore, the verb bhavati or apnoti, in the sense Brahma vida apnoti param, we are not talking about the actual attainment or the actual becoming into Brahman or of Brahman. It is simply reclaiming our status as Brahman by giving up ignorance. That is all. Tena asadbhyo anatmabhyah sutaram nivrittabhimanatparupa brahmanishtha suchita bhavati. Through the word santam, what has been indicated is that the mind of the jnani is forever abiding in Brahman. Brahmanishtha suchita bhavati. And what is the nature of that Brahmanishtha? It is a mind which has constantly turned away from anatma or the non-self. It has turned away from the non-self. What kind of non-self? The asadbhyaha, that which is not ultimately real. Such a mind has lost any sense of identification with the anatma, and such a Brahma nishtha is what is being indicated by the word. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumevabhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtham ananyaprokte gatiratra nasti aniyan hyatarkyam anupramanat ityadi shrutibhyah tadrishadeva guroho samshaya bhavanadi virahita shuddhatma bodhasya sambhavat. The Mundakopanishad, in the first Mundakam, the second Khandam, there is a very important mantra which talks about what kind of a guru one must approach. In order to know tad vijnanartham, sa gurumeva bigachet. He, that mumukshu, has to approach a guru and only a guru. The evakara, that emphasis, gurumeva, indicates that one has to approach a guru. What kind of a guru? Shrotriyam brahmanishtham. One who is well versed in the scriptures, in the Shruti. That is why it is referred to as Shrotriya, and who is Brahmanishtha, who is firmly abiding in that self. And with what kind of an attitude one must approach? Samit Panihi. Here, the word Samit Panihi literally means he has to carry Samit, the twigs of the Palasha tree that is used in sacrifices. But here, the literal meaning is not meant, the figurative meaning is meant. The figurative meaning here refers to the attitude of humility. One must approach the Guru with humility. And what kind of a Guru? One who is Shrotriya and Brahmanishtha. And then in the Kathopanishad, it says, Ananya prokte gatiratra nasti aniyan hi atarkyam anupramanat. This is a mantra that occurs in the Kathopanishad, wherein Yamadharmaraja is telling Nachiketas, the knowledge of the self is an extremely subtle science, anupramanat, and it's atarkyam. It is also beyond the grasp of intellectual reasoning. Mere reasoning is insufficient to reveal the self. One cannot simply use logic to know the self. It has to be based on the Shruti. Only the Shruti can reveal it. As the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Tantu Aupanishadam Purusham Prachami. I am asking you of the Aupanishada Purusha, the Purusha or the self that is known through the Upanishads, Shastraika Samadhigamyam, that is known only through the Upanishads, only through the Shruti. And therefore, using reasoning or logic without the backing of Shruti is not going to help. As Acharya Shankara Bhagavad Pada says many a time in the Bhashyas, that mere reasoning as adopted by the Nayayikas is going to be insufficient to know the self. And it has to be only Shruti Anugrahita Tarkam. It has to be a reasoning that is blessed by the Shruti. Because at best, what reasoning can do is it can merely indicate the presence or the absence of something. It is only a sambhavana yukti. It can only indicate the possibility of something. In order to establish it, there needs to be some other pramana, like perception. But in this case, perception will not work because the self is beyond the reach of perception. The only pramana that can work, therefore, is Shruti pramana. And that's what Yamadharmaraja is telling in this mantra. There is no other gati, nasti gati atra, apart from who? Ananya prokte. Here, the word ananya means a guru for whom Brahman is not the object. It is not different from him. He is an ananya. Brahman is his own self. When such a guru teaches ananya prokte, then this knowledge becomes revealed. Because otherwise, there is no other gati, there is no other way to get this knowledge. Because why? It's anupramanat aniyan. It is subtler than the subtle. And this is what Acharya also is saying. Tadrishadeva guroho samshaya bhavanadi virahita shuddhatma bodhasya sambhavat. Only from such a guru will the clear knowledge of the self be attained, which is free from all sorts of doubts. Samshayadi bhavana virahita. And with that, we will briefly pause today's session and we will take up the rest of the Vyakhya and the other verses in the next session. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.